Hello Primary 5, how are you today? I hope you are fine. Today we are going to start with Unit 5, Lesson 2, Organizing and Displaying Data. In the past session, we had studied how to use the frequency table to represent the data, and today we are going to start with this problem. The number of students in my class is 40 students. The senior of the class wanted to record our weights. We brought the scale from the room of the school nurse, then we recorded the weights approximated to the nearest kilogram. They were as follow. And our teacher divided us into two groups and asked each group to think of a method to organize and display those data. So let's learn how to organize and display the data. So let's look at the first group. The first group thought of the following method. They chose to use the frequency table to represent the data. So we have here weight in kilograms. We have 35 and 36, 37, 8, 39, 40 and 41 and 42 and 43, 44 and 45. Just one student with weight 35 kilogram, and we have two students with weight 36 kilogram. So we can read these data. We can read these data using the frequency table or using the tally marks. So we can use the tallies or we can use the frequency table to know the number of students and their weight. So, and they represent the data by the following bar graph. We have just one student with weight 35 and we have two students with 36 kilograms, and if you look at 37 we have also two students, and in 38 kilograms we have four students, and 39 also four, and 40 we have six students with weight 40, and 41 we have five students. And if we look at 42, we have also 5 students, and in 43 we have 4 students. 44 we have 3 students. So we have this horizontal x, we have this horizontal x to represent the weight in kilogram, and this vertical x to represent the number of students. So we can read the data from this bar graph or from this frequency table. So this is the method of the first group. So let's take a look for the second group. The second group thought of the following method. Simple frequency table. They used the simple frequency table. And when we look to this table, we notice that they divide the weights into groups. And each group consists 3 weights. For example, from 35 to 37, and from 38 to 40, and from 41 to 43, and from 44 to 46. How many students they weight between or from 35 to 37 is 5 students, and they use 5 tally marks. And how many students they weight from 38 to 40? We have 14 students, and from 41 to 43, 14 students, and from 44 to 46 is 7 students. So this is called the simple frequency table, and it can be written also in the form of this table. This table is called the cumulative frequency table. We notice that in this table we use something called sets. We use sets where 35 means that weight is ranging from 35 kilograms to less than 38 kilograms, because the next set or the second set starts from 38. So the first set we have 35, so that's mean start from 35 to less than 38, because the second group or the second set starts from 38 to less than 41, because the next or the third set starts from 41 to less than 44. And if we look at the frequency, we notice that we have in the first set we have 5 students and we have 14 students. The weight is 38 or 39 or 40, and we have 14 have 41 or 42 or 43, because 44 in the last group or in the fourth group we have 7 students. The weight is 44 or 45 or 46. So we can use this cumulative frequency table, or we can use the simple frequency table. But how can we represent the data in cumulative frequency table using the bar graph? We can represent these data using this bar graph. In this bar graph we have the horizontal x to represent the sets, and we have the vertical x to represent the frequency. For example, the first set starts from 35 to less than 38. So how many students? We have 5 students. And the second set starts from 38 to less than 41. How many students? The weight is 38 or 39 or 40. There is 14 students. And in 41 we have also 14 students, and in 44 we have just 7 students. So this is called the cumulative frequency table. The cumulative frequency table, we use sets and frequency. We use the sets and the frequency. So let's start with this exercise. The following are the marks of 32 students in the final math exam for the first term. If we look at these data, so these data for 32 students in the final math exam for the first term. And we need to complete. What is the lowest mark? We need to find the lowest mark from these data. We have to check each row. If we look at the first row, we have the smallest or the lowest mark as 25, and in the second row we have 26 as the lowest mark, but 26 is more than 25, so 25 is the smallest. And if we look at the third row, we have 35 as the smallest or the lowest mark in the third row. And if we look at the fourth row, we have 35 as the lowest mark. So the lowest mark of all these marks is 25. So the lowest mark is 25. And if we need to find the highest mark, so we have to search for the greatest number of each row. We have 48, and we have 48 in the second row, and we have 50 in the third row, and we have 45 in the fourth row. So 50 is the greatest mark, or the highest mark is 50. So we know the lowest mark and the highest mark. And number 2, think of a method to display those marks in a suitable sets from the cumulative frequency table with sets for these data. So to start, or if we need to form the cumulative frequency table, so we have to draw this table, and in this table we have 2 columns. One of them is for sets and the second is for the frequency. So we have sets and frequency. So the first column is for sets and the second one is for the frequency. So how can we choose our sets, or how can we divide these marks into sets? So we have the lowest mark is 25 and the highest mark is 50. So we have to find the difference between the highest mark and the lowest mark. So we have 50 minus 25 equals 25. So we have 25 marks. So for example, if we put each 5 marks in a set, so we have to divide 25 over 5. So the number of sets, so we can say the number of sets equals the number of sets equals 25 over 5. We have 25 over 5 equals 5. So we have 5 sets. So we can draw the first row is for 25 or from 25 to less than 30, to less than 30 or to less than the second set. So we have to put the marks from 25 to less than 30 in the first set, and from 30 to less than 35 in this set. The set starts from 35 to less than 40, and in this set we have from 40 to less than 45, and in this set we have from 45 to less than 50, So we formed our cumulative frequency table with sets. Now we need to know or to write the number of frequencies. So we have to collect these data. We have to collect these data. And the first group from 25 and less than 30. So we have to look at the first row. In the first row we have just 1 mark, and in the second row we have 26, and there is no marks between or from 20 to 30 in the third row, and there is no marks in the fourth row. So we have just 2 students in the first set. And the second set starts from 30 and less than 35. If we look at the first row, we have 1, 2, and in the second row we have 1, so we have 3 students. And if we look at the third row, we don't have, and in the third row we don't have any marks between 30 and less than 35, and in the fourth row we don't have any marks, so we have just 3 students. And in the set we have 35 or marks from 35 to less than 40. So let's look at the first row. We have 38, so we have 1 student, and in the second row we have 37, so we have 2 students, and we have 38, so we have 3 students. And if we look at the third row, we have 35, so we have 4 students, and 37, so we have 5 students, and 38, we have 6 students, and 36, and 35, and 36. So we have 9 students. And the next set starts from 40 to less than 45. So we search for from 40 to 45. In the first row we have 41, so we have 1 mark, and in the second row we have 40 and 42, so we have 3 marks, and in the third row we have 40, and we have in the fourth row 42 and 41 and 40. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 marks. So we have 7 marks in this set. And the next set starts from 45 to less than 50. So let's check the first row. We have 47 and 48, and we have 46 in the second row and 48, and in the third row we have 48, 49, and 47 and 45. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 students. So we have 9 students, and the last set starts from 50 to 55. So we have 1 and 2. So we have just 2 students, and we have to check the sum of frequencies. These marks is for 32 students, so the sum of frequencies should be 32. So let's check the sum. We have 9 plus 9 equals 18, and 7 plus 3 equals 10. So we have 10 and 18 equals 28. 28 plus 2 equals 30, and 30 plus 2 equals 32. So the sum of these frequencies is 32. So now we finished our lesson and we had started how to form the cumulative frequency table. So by the end of the lesson, study hard and stay safe. Good luck.